Hey everyone, and welcome to the Climate Career Kit podcast. This is your host, Aishani Garg. If you are a high schooler looking for direction in climate change related careers, tune in to every episode for advice from the diverse leaders in climate jobs today and learn about new and exciting opportunities that you can pursue. Today's guest is Crystal Sue, who works as an energy specialist. We are so excited to have you for the 7th episode of the Climate Career Kit. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Aishani. It's great to be a part of this.
So to jump right into it, how would you describe your job to a group of high schoolers?
Yeah, so I am an energy specialist, and my role is focused on EV public fast charging and also battery energy storage technologies. So my role within these technologies is interpreting data that's associated with them to optimize energy costs. And the way I approach this is I apply interdisciplinary skill sets across engineering, economics, data science, and policy. And in doing this, I work very cross-functionally with professionals across a variety of backgrounds, including electrical engineers and technicians, energy asset managers, and electric utilities.
Wow. So following up on the last question, what does a regular day on the job look like for you?
So my typical day entails analyzing data that's associated with energy. So this can be anything about power and also usage, as well as reading electric utility tariffs. And I'm reading these tariffs to understand the electricity rates that are going to be charged for my projects. And in understanding this data, I create models that inform decision-making around the strategy for energy cost optimization. And then from there, I have to have communication skills so that I can relay the findings with professionals in other departments, and we come to the best conclusion together when we blend those skill sets and perspectives.
Yeah, that's an incredibly important job. So what inspired you to pursue this career? Was there a certain moment when you decided that this is what you wanted to do?
Yeah, so actually, I started off my career, I studied environmental engineering, and I was in the water space because that's most closely associated with my curriculum in environmental engineering. And I was working with water utilities. And that's when I also started learning about electric utilities and got introduced into the world of energy. And it was especially exciting because of renewables, which are really taking off. And we have all these different technologies that are pushing the business models to improve and change in ways that they haven't for a century, essentially. And energy is especially interesting to me because I think that there's significant room for innovation and growth, as I mentioned, very much tied to because of the renewable energy technologies. And these key factors that are changing the industry have also become an accelerant for my career trajectory. And I love how interdisciplinary this industry is, as there's many opportunities to work cross-functionally and blend skill sets together to become successful in the career. And I feel challenged to apply my skills in many new ways in this industry when I'm working cross-functionally on these new problems that we have never seen before. And the goals of energy, the energy industry really resonate for me because one of them is actually less about the technical aspect, but about the societal aspect, which is how do we move to a clean energy system to rectify historic inequities from the past energy system, which include cancer-inducing air pollution and energy bills that are as high as 30% of someone's income.
Yeah. Renewable energy is really a topic that is talked about so much right now. So, to learn more about your job, what experiences were helpful to you as an energy specialist?
Yes, so as I mentioned, I started off environmental engineering in the water utility space. So there's a connection with electric utilities, but there's a lot of different aspects that are not the same. And in order to bridge that gap, I did a lot of reading on my own to fill in the gaps in the areas that I have yet to learn about, such as how do we develop renewable projects? How do you construct them? And who are the different parties involved? So doing a lot of independent research and attending webinars and also speaking with people in the space who already are in the positions that maybe one day you would like to be a part of. And so doing that alongside giving it my all in my roles that I have, they really push me to keep on moving forward and pushing the ball toward understanding which area could be a good fit for me in energy. So these together have really both paid off. And I think that being open to learning and also evolving is a great way to develop a career and open more doors in the energy sector while establishing yourself as an industry expert.
Yeah, of course. Following up on that, is there something that surprised you about your current role?
Yeah, so the thing that surprised me about my current role is that it actually was timed almost like exactly right as the EV charging space started to really taking off like 2 years ago. So that was not planned, but I think that it's an example of the luck and the opportunity they met at the same time. And so it's actually been a huge accelerant for me and my experience because of all the traction that the industry, specifically EV charging, is getting.
Yeah. So, for all of the high school listeners, what advice do you have for someone considering a career in energy?
Yes, so I think that it's very important to be engaged in the opportunities that you do have in front of you. And then for the ones that you want to reach for, really apply yourself by reaching for those opportunities through, like I mentioned, about the independent reading, research, maybe blogging, things like this. Passion projects, they can help you enter the field. And also not only in terms of entering the field, but also helping you better understand your strengths and weaknesses and what works for you and what doesn't. So when you go into interviews or when you're speaking with professionals in the space, you're going to be more prepared to engage with them.
Yeah, those are all amazing things that my listeners who may be interested in your career should take a look at. So, piggybacking off the last question, are there any resources or opportunities that you can direct high schoolers to who are interested in your career?
Yes, so I think that for me, one thing that really I would recommend is looking at local organizations near you that are in energy and sustainability. Because when I was also trying to figure out which area of energy I was trying to go into, I joined a local volunteer organization called Green Home New York City. And through that, I learned a lot about all the different types of areas in energy. And also, the organization puts on events, and some of them are posted online, so they're available even if you're not in New York City. And it gives you an opportunity to engage with people in the space and also give back to the community by volunteering to help them set up events and prepare for those. As part of this organization, I also started an initiative called the Greater Good Initiative, where I write with public high school students in New York City about energy and sustainability. And so we pick topics together that are interesting for the high schoolers, and we write together, and I give some insights that maybe I have from my work experience so that they can delve deeper on their own and produce their own writing content and also do some data analytics. So things like that, just getting in touch with people in the space and being open, volunteering, I think those are great ways.
Wow. Is your like writing campaign or like your writing with high schoolers available for people who aren't in New York City?
Yes, I'm actually really open to that because right now we've put out we have put out one about electric vehicles and air quality in New York City. And right now we're working on another one that's about peaker plant replacement. So these dirty coal-fired plants or natural gas-fired plants that are only operating like 6% of a given year. So we're talking about how to replace that in New York City. But topics like this, they're applicable anywhere across the country. So I am open to having any high school students who are interested in participating to reach out to me.
Well, reach out to her if you're listening and you're interested in doing whatever like energy writing with her. So, I will link it with this episode so you can go check it out. And thank you so much, Crystal, for your time. And to all the listeners, make sure to tune in to the next episode of the Climate Career Kit.
Thank you so much, Aishani, for having me. This has been great, and I love what you're doing.